So we're here at Nordic Fintech Week, first day, and I have the pleasure of speaking to Akash Bajwa. Akash, tell us a little bit who you are and what you do.
So I'm an investor, early stage investor. We focus on fintech enterprise software, have been investing since 1997 in Europe only. First called Earlybird, founded in Germany, and I'm based in our London office, so we're distributed across Europe. It's a real pleasure to be here and to meet the Nordic Fintech founders here.
Well, that's basically how you here now. We're all very curious about what's happening in London because even though the Nordics are booming, everyone knows that you go to London to get capital, to raise capital.
Yeah.
So what are the trends that most excite you for what you're seeing bubbling in the London ecosystem?
Yeah, I'd say in London, as we know, regulations always played a very big role in the UK with the FCA really promoting innovation. And we're still seeing a lot of innovation on the open banking side. So the FCA has mandated that we would increase adoption of open banking for a new entity, which replaces the previous open banking implementation entity. We're definitely seeing more real-time payments also adoption, and we're seeing generally still very good alumni emerging from Revolut, from Checkout, and essentially the mafias that are forming around the scale-ups that were initially mostly in the UK and obviously are now distributed, but the second and third generation of founders emerging in London is very promising.
So this idea of reinvesting into the local ecosystem, taking the know-how, taking the exits, and then bringing back more innovation to the country.
Yes, exactly. And in that sense, I mean, we hope that London will continue to be very competitive post-Brexit. There's been a lot of good policy making to make visas more attractive. It would bring foreign talent over. But fundamentally, London's strengths are still as robust as they once were. We have a very captive audience in terms of enterprise software buyers. We have most of the financial institutions that you could think of globally in Europe, in London, in Canary Wharf. So you have Europe buyers there, you have the talent there still, and I think some of the best talent in Europe is still to be found in London. So those things make it still a very attractive ecosystem.
All right, now the natural questions that I have for you is, what particularly attracts you from the Nordics? What do you see in Nordic startups that is attractive for someone that's coming from a place like London where there's just so much innovation?
Absolutely. I mean, what's really impressive about the Nordics is the degree of digitization in the economies. And you can see how consumers are very open-minded about trying technologies. You can see that obviously in some of the great examples out of Sweden, but you're also seeing that out of Denmark in Theo. But in Sweden, we know Iset, Klarna, Spotify, among many others. So you have a latent population which is open to trying new technology products, which just makes customer acquisition much easier. And what we also see is that Nordic founders know that if they want to build a business at the level of ambition they have, they will scale globally. So they're not just starting with a local mindset, they're really keen to build a European category leader and then eventually a global one.
Yeah, okay, now, one thing that we keep hearing is that the use of digital ID really opens up a lot of possibilities for the Nordics, all which are used to digital ID. I understand that's not the same feeling in the UK. Do you see a difference in the way that the solutions are being built because having versus not having digital ID?
I would say so. I mean, in that front, the UK is making an effort to increase that and have a digital ID as a means to also reduce fraud and eventually also address a lot of the typical IDB colors that we have with fintechs also onboarding customers. It's just that in that sense, I think that the UK regulators are not as forward-thinking as they once were, and it's not as high on the agenda. And kudos to the Nordics who have been very forward-thinking about this and are therefore helping a lot of fintechs thrive off the back of digital ID and its implications for onboarding and for fraud and verification. So I think hopefully we'll see that in the UK also more, but right now it's really a testament to the Nordics.
Akash, it's a pleasure having you here representing the London ecosystem. Thank you very much for joining us. Hope you have a wonderful event.
Thank you.